Oftentimes, when we put the cabinet doors back on, they need a bit of tweaking to get them to sit right. New white cabinets make every gap that isn't perfectly parallel obvious, and crooked doors can rub together or not close all the way. Each hinge has 3 adjustment screws for a total of 6 possible adjustments for each door. Doors can be adjusted side to side, rotated clockwise or counterclockwise, tilted front to back, rotated along their vertical axis, or adjusted up and down. This first screw pushes the hinge away from or pulls the hinge toward the side of the cabinet. When both hinges are adjusted together, the door will move from side to side. When they are adjusted opposite from each other, the door will rotate clockwise or counterclockwise. The back screw slides the hinge in the front and back direction. On some cheaper hinges, the screw needs to be loosened, the hinge moved, and then the screw tightened again. Adjusting both hinges this way causes the door to rotate on its vertical axis. This means the hinge side of the door will lift away from or get close towards the cabinet. Sometimes the inside edge of the door rubs and prevents the door from closing all the way. This adjustment lifts the edge of the door away from the cabinet and solves the problem. Adjusting the hinges opposite each other causes the door to lean in either direction. Sometimes when the door is shut, only one edge will be contacting the cabinet and the other will be floating off. Tilting the door fixes this. This top screw allows the door to lift up and down. In this example, you loosen the screw on both hinges, lift the door up or down, and then tighten the screws to hold it in place. With some hinges, rotating the screw will lift the door on its own. If this is the case, bear the weight of the door as you adjust, or you will strip the screw for sure. Many hinge plates won't have the screw at all, and in order to make this adjustment, you must loosen all 4 screws holding the 2 plates on, lift the door, then tighten the screws again. We always want the gap between adjacent doors to be parallel. You can see this door is bouncing on the bottom. That means the door needs to be tilted forward. Slide the top hinge forward and the bottom hinge back. We also want to make sure the doors are flush at the top and bottom. In this example, the door on the right needs to be lifted up a little bit. Both of these doors could also be brought inwards to make the gap smaller. Too thick of a black gap on a white kitchen especially looks unnatural. Corner cabinet doors such as this can be tricky to adjust as there are double the hinges. The main hinge attaching the pair to the cabinet works like normal, with one screw going forward to back and the other going side to side. The hinge connecting the 2 doors is similar to a normal hinge. You can see the screw for front and back, side to side, as well as up and down. But there is also a 4th screw in the middle that changes the gap between the 2 doors. All of these adjustments are used together to make the door sit right. Between the 2 hinges as well as the center adjustment screw, this gives us a total of 12 different adjustments we can make. In this example, the first door won't open all the way, so the gap needs to be increased. Loosen the middle screw and slide the doors side to side. Make sure to slide both doors evenly or it will be crooked. Then tighten the middle screw to hold it in place. Now the door opens, but as you can see, the gap tapers off towards the top. Because the doors are on a 90-degree angle, we need to adjust both adjustments in increments until the gap is closed evenly. We also want to make sure the 2 doors are flush at the top. Most drawers we just screw back into their original holes, and therefore they cannot be adjusted. However, if they are a little crooked, I have a trick that sometimes works. Loosen the screws holding the drawer, and while twisting the face in the right direction, retighten it. This trick will typically only give you a millimeter or 2 though. The mechanical style drawers, however, can be adjusted. The plastic screw adjusts the drawer side to side. This metal screw pushes the bottom of the drawer forward and backward. And to push the top of the drawer forward and backwards, you twist this bar. Smaller drawers won't have the bar though. If you make a slight mistake with the drilling of the handle holes, they can potentially be adjusted too. Find a bit that's wider than the initial bit you used for the hole, but not any wider than the width of the footprint of the handle. Using the new bit, re-drill out the hole. You can also wiggle the bit up and down to create an oval shape. As you can see, I've now created a bit of wiggle room. Push the handle up or side to side in the direction needed and re-tighten it. Make sure to screw it in tight so that it doesn't keep wiggling.